Hello mortals. From countless flying saucer sightings and random circles and crops, to unexplained intergalactic radio bursts and atmospheric biosignatures in distant exoplanets, humans have been obsessed with the quest of finding extraterrestrial life. Rightfully so, as the answer to this question would reveal if humanity is in a multiplayer server or an offline campaign. So let us peer into the evidence for alien life that we have collected as a species and rank it by its scientific credibility in the classic tier list format, with evidence ranging from the professionals with their big fancy equipment to the amateurs who excitedly point to any light in the sky as a sign of those who come from above. Thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this episode. Beginning in F tier, we have the gray slop of evidence known as conspiracy theories based on nothing but bad images and bad assumptions. The Black Knight satellite is an artificial satellite of extraterrestrial origins that has orbited Earth for 13,000 years. The evidence for this stems from a collection of images and other data of space debris, natural rocks, and classified spy satellites. While it can be fun to speculate about extraterrestrials observing humans and their funny little shenanigans, the concreteness of the supposed evidence holds less weight than an object in microgravity. It's just floating space junk. F tier. Crop circles. Pretty much all of them appear near roads and densely populated areas overnight. Very convenient for aliens that have to travel by car. In 1991, two hoaxers, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, took credit for having created many of the circles throughout England. Sadly, nothing exciting. F tier. The Tic Tac Flyby event. Leaked video footage shows an F-18 Super Hornet tracking a mysterious object. This incident occurred in 2004, and in 2020 the Pentagon confirmed that the footage was real. Great, aliens exist. Oh right, we're still in F tier. UFO investigator Mick West did a whole series analyzing this event on YouTube. To keep things short, the phenomenon was caused by a lens flare from an infrared camera. Although optically interesting and not fabricated, still bottom tier. Moving on from lackluster evidence and analysis, we arrive at the fine wine of sludge that is D tier. Oumuamua. It's a rather weird-looking interstellar object that accelerated through our solar system and had no apparent coma around it. Unfortunately, the assumption that it is of extraterrestrial origin can never be confirmed unless we develop the technology to catch up to it in the vast void of interstellar space. But it's probably just a long rock. D tier. Fast radio bursts, FRBs for short, are very short-lived radio bursts that have puzzled scientists since they were first recorded in 2001. FRBs eject the same energy in 1,000th of a second as the Sun does in a year. The Hubble Space Telescope spotted two FRBs in the spiral arms of two galaxies from billions of years ago. Researchers believe that the source of FRBs is a type of neutron star called a magnetar. This does not cover all the FRBs detected, but it does suggest that the likely explanation are natural phenomena. Not evidence of alien intelligence, unfortunately, though it is evidence of the many interesting natural phenomena of the universe. The Tabby Star is an F-type main sequence star in the constellation Cygnus. In 2015 it was discovered that it had light fluctuations, dimming up to 22% in brightness. This has led some to speculate that an alien megastructure could surround this star. Something like a Dyson swarm could explain the large fluctuations in brightness. The implication of an alien civilization advanced enough to create such a massive structure at a mere 1,470 light-years away is no cause for concern. Or it can just be a cloud of dust. Most likely a cloud of dust. D tier. Moving on to C tier. The evidence here might be lacking but could be worth investigating still. The WOW signal was detected in 1977 by the Big Ear telescope. It was a very strong and narrow-band signal that lasted the entire 72-second window that the telescope had to observe it. The issue with the signal is that it was never detected again, nor was it detected by the Very Large Array, which is far more sensitive than the Big Ear telescope. The signal's frequency of 1,420 MHz is protected for astronomers, though that does not rule out radio interference from the military or civilian interference. The likeliest explanation, however, remains a natural astronomical phenomenon or an undiscovered natural source. Still a mystery, but not enough evidence to claim aliens. I am only slightly wowed. Next in C tier, we have the 5 largest moons of Uranus with the potential of subsurface oceans. starting with Miranda, the smallest among these 5. Unfortunately, it has to be eliminated from our list right off the bat. Based on scientific data and the Moon's extremely low temperatures, it's highly likely that any subsurface ocean Miranda once had is now frozen solid. If any life forms did exist here, they are now likely encased within an icy tomb, preserved but not living, rendering Miranda a less viable candidate for alien existence. Moving on to Ariel and Umbriel. These moons, while larger than Miranda, suffer from a similar problem, though it's not as extreme. Their subsurface oceans, if they exist, are likely at such low temperatures that the water would be in a supercooled state. This makes it incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for these oceans to generate electrical currents strong enough to be detected by our current technology. Such frigid conditions are not typically conducive to life as we understand, but the potential for extremophile organisms cannot be dismissed. That leaves us with Titania and Oberon, whose subsurface oceans might not just exist but also be warm enough to be habitable. This is thanks to the nice radioactive warmth given off by their cores as well as the theorized high salinity of the water. Unfortunately, any mission to drill into the icy crust will be met with tens of kilometers of ice to drill through. If there is life, it will be long before we can study it. Speaking of hard to study, in C tier we also find the TRAPPIST-1 system. You might have heard of it as it made headlines in the news when it was discovered. This single, cold dwarf star has 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting it. 3 of these planets orbit in the star's habitable zone. While this only meets one potential criterion in the checklist of life, the fact that there are 3 of them provides a unique opportunity to study the effect of being in different parts of a star's habitable zone. 40 light-years away though, not happening soon. C tier. Now on to the B tier, reserved for entries showing quite a bit of promise. The 1996 Martian meteorite ALH 84001 was a meteorite that originated from Mars that contained structures that some scientists have argued are evidence of fossilized bacteria. Though this assertion has been refuted by many subsequent studies, the 2 most recent studies have found 2 very interesting things. The first study from April 2020 reported finding nitrogen-bearing organics. A later study in 2022 confirmed the finding but concluded that an abiotic process from very early Mars was the source. The evidence of organics is enough to solidify Mars' role in our hunt for ancient extraterrestrial life. B tier. Proxima Centauri b is a name known to anyone interested in exoplanets. Its host system is a triple-star system that hosts 2 sun-like stars and a dimmer red dwarf. Proxima b orbits this smaller star's habitable zone, and at a distance of 4.2 light-years from Earth, it remains the closest potentially habitable exoplanet. In the near future, a mission may be sent to the Alpha Centauri system. The proposed Starship solar sails will take about 20 to 30 years to get to the star system, and an additional 4 years to notify Earth of its success. By the end of the century, humanity will be a fledgling interstellar species. But due to the distance, we haven't yet confirmed the presence of water or of a habitable atmosphere, so B tier. Now on to the good stuff, A tier. Enceladus is a moon of Saturn that is known to have a subsurface ocean and hydrothermal vents. Its surface of ice is deformed by crater impacts and tectonic action. During its flybys, the space probe Cassini discovered cryovolcanoes spewing water vapor, hydrogen, and solid material near the South Pole. In the depths of our oceans, life is sustained by geological activity, thus making Enceladus a prime candidate for investigation and thalassophobia development. A tier. Europa. Similar to Enceladus, Europa holds a subsurface ocean warmed by internal mechanisms. What puts Europa above Enceladus is the size of its ocean and its accessibility. Enceladus Ocean is about 6 miles deep at its south pole, underneath an ice shell about 19 to 25 miles thick. Compare that to Europa's relatively thin 10 to 15 mile ice shell and an ocean that is 40 to 100 miles deep. Europa is a quarter of the diameter of Earth, yet its ocean may hold as much as twice the water as Earth's oceans. The idea of life in Europa's oceans holds water. A tier. But what could possibly surpass Europa and Enceladus as the most compelling sources of evidence for life outside our little home? Allow me to introduce you to the one entry I consider worthy of S tier. Titan. Saturn's largest moon, it is also the second largest moon in our solar system. Coming in at larger than the planet Mercury itself, It is the only known moon with a dense atmosphere and the only other body in the solar system, besides Earth, known to have stable liquids on its surface, in the form of lakes and seas of methane and ethane. Containing clouds and methane rain, the atmosphere is rich in complex organic compounds that are the precursor to the chemistry of life. Unfortunately, it is unlikely that life as we know it could exist on the surface, as the surface is too cold. However, the phrase, life as we know it, is key. All life forms we currently know require liquid water, yet it's possible that life adapted to conditions that we would find extremely harsh exists, such as methanogenic life in the lakes and rivers of Titan. If only Titan also had a subsurface ocean heated by the moon's interior like the other previously mentioned entries. Oh, wait. It probably does. The soup of organics that exists in the subsurface ocean consisting of water and ammonia adds another layer to the possibility of extraterrestrial life existing. Even if it's unlikely that we might find an intelligent species having built a metropolis underneath the surface of Titan, any microbial findings may give us the deepest insight into organic chemistry outside our planet. With sufficient knowledge, I wonder what eldritch horrors we could grow from that accursed soup. As we wrap up our ranking of evidence of extraterrestrial life, we find that we do not have any smoking gun proof for funny little green boys existing among us. What we do have is a vast universe to explore. A universe so big that even in the small corner of our solar system we will probably make breakthroughs that will answer age-old questions and bring up new ones. But what's the key to unlocking these mysteries of the cosmos? Knowledge. And this is where our sponsor, Brilliant.org, steps in. Brilliant simplifies your learning journey in this field and many others. Its engaging and interactive learning platform allows you to easily understand complex concepts that underpin today's advanced technologies, like artificial intelligence and data science. The importance of continuous learning for professional growth cannot be overstated, and Brilliant's Introduction to Probability course is a perfect place to start. With just a 15-minute daily commitment, you'll be navigating through mathematical thinking, from routine tasks to sophisticated probabilistic concepts. Brilliant's active learning approach, which includes activities like drag-and-drop coding, interactive diagrams, and visually appealing course material, is proven to be 6 times more effective than passive learning methods like listening to lectures. Brilliant doesn't just foster your technical skills, but also enhances your creative problem-solving capacity. By honing your intuition and analytical thinking, you'll be well equipped to tackle challenges in all aspects of your life. Don't miss this chance to boost your scientific literacy. Head over to brilliant.org/sciencefile or click the link in the description for a 30-day free trial. Be quick, as the first 200 users will receive a 20% discount on an annual subscription.